And are you refreshed?
Yes.
Good. You're ready to continue?
I'm ready.
So we're talking about how to let go of the attachment to the vibration of the problem.
Yes.
And become more of a vibrational match to the solution, since both of them are there and you have ready access to either. We've been offering over time a series of processes, and each process is offered with one intention, and that is to help your vibration shift in order to allow you to be a vibrational match to what you want rather than toward what you don't want. But recently, since we've been talking about this vortex, if we can convince you of the validity and the reality of this vibrational point of attraction, if you accept this vortex as something that does exist, and you make it your dominant intention to move in the direction of it and to as often as you can be in it, then life will get a lot simpler on every subject that's been active in your vibration. So we'll start there. Do you believe that you live in a vibrational world?
Yes.
And do you believe that through life that you've queued up for you the precursor to future manifestation, which exists right now as a vibrational vortex or reality?
Absolutely.
And do you believe that you can tell by the way you feel whether you're in the vicinity of this vibrational reality or not?
Yes.
Do you ever find yourself, without having done anything active to achieve it, do you ever find yourself just feeling really good, just in the vortex? Do you ever find your heart just singing?
Yes.
Well, when that happens, if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would acknowledge, hey, I'm in the vortex. Doesn't matter how I got there. Doesn't matter how long I've been in here, but I'm there. And so I'm just going to milk it as long as I can. So what you do is you just stay in that attitude of appreciation for whatever the good feeling is, just sort of milking it as best you can. And in doing so, what happens is you actually practice the vibration of being in the vortex, which makes it easier for you to stay longer. It makes it easier to get in next time when you're not in. In other words, it just makes it more and more your chronic vibration. We want to say to you, and from what we can feel from you, because we can feel that you're primarily optimistic, we can feel that you want things to go well, we can feel that you can tell the difference when you feel good and when you don't feel good, and that you are making effort to feel good.
Yes.
We want to emphatically say to you that if you will just do this one thing, which is be aware that you are feeling better and proclaim consciously your place within the vortex, and then make a conscious determination that you intend to stay there longer just for the sake of the good feeling of it. And here's the piece. Not for the sake of getting in the vortex so that you can make something that isn't happening happen, but in the vortex for the sake of milking the good feeling vibration of it. In other words, what you're really wanting to do is train your frequency into one of allowing the solutions that are already there rather than the problems that may be more active in your vibration. Does that make sense?
It does.
So, are you still wanting to proclaim your stuckness on some subject? You see, what we're getting at is we could talk about the subject to which you feel stuck. And we could probably, with enough conversation and your willingness, get you unstuck.
Okay. I'd like to do that.
All right. So we'll do that. But we want to make sure that everyone is clear that a faster, and that may very well be the best use of time as you're sitting here addressing infinite intelligence about something that you want. In other words, we can see that this could be an important process for us to experience together.
Okay.
But we want to make really sure that you understand really clearly that you're in the vortex often enough that if you would just milk it every time you're there, that it would be virtually impossible for you not to hang out in the vortex most of the time in a very short period of time. It's a matter of understanding the vibrational differences and then giving attention when you know you're there. So what's the subject that you feel stuck on?
Public confession's a tough thing.
Well, we gave you a really viable option.
You did, and that doesn't mean I didn't want the
and
answer.
We talked about world issues.
Yes, we did.
To which you pronounced, but what about me?
Absolutely.
What about me? And since it all is all about you. But you see, it's interesting because would you say, relative to this issue that you're stuck on, does it dominate your experience?
No.
So why does it feel like such a, do you think that you could focus upon any of the myriad of things that keep you easily in the vortex and just practice your vibration of well-being, and wouldn't that just do it for you? Do we really have to take this issue and wrestle it to the ground and drag it to a new vibrational place?
I want a crystal ball that says everything is going to be okay.
Everything's going to be okay.
Okay. Good.
But you see, what that was about was you confirming that you are like most people. You offer most of your vibration most often and most easily in response to what you're observing. Mm-hmm. So if you observe a good condition, you feel better. Mm-hmm. If you observe a bad condition, you feel bad. And so, Abraham, just tell me that it's going to be all right, and then I can observe those words, and then I'll feel better. And we say, that's sort of not what we're teaching, is it? In other words, we don't want to give you the reassurance that you then just have to observe. We want you, are you hearing this? Because that's what's tripping you up. That's why so much of the world is living this conditional love. Mm-hmm. Let's just get these people to do what we need them to do, and then we'll feel all right. And we say, that's not deliberate creation. That's just regurgitation. That's just observation. What you want to do is get control of your vibration regardless of the current situation. Okay. And that game doesn't do it so much. So when was the last time that you were consciously aware that you were in the vortex?
Probably this morning on my drive into Atlanta.
And how far did you drive?
About 100 miles.
And what was it like?
It's carefree, timeless, fun, easy.
Open roads, anticipating good things.
Absolutely.
So give us more about that. In other words, we want you to milk that after the fact. We want you to just talk about that in the vortex moment.
I was thinking about my son. I was thinking about the sunrise. I was thinking about the anticipation of being here. This is my first conference, so I was anticipating that, and everything was very, very simple and carefree.
So it's interesting too, because here you are sitting in the chair.
Yes.
So clearly you were in the vortex. Now try to capture what an in the vortex moment feels like. Put more words to it for the purpose of milking it. You used words like carefree. You used words. Did you feel empowered? Did you feel loved? Did you feel love?
Yes.
So use more description around that. Milk it.
I felt like I was with maybe a good term. I was with others. There were no concerns. I felt like I was coming here and I was going to get an answer today, and driving home, anticipating what it would be like just being with my family and friends.
All right, now you're getting more specific than we were really guiding you toward, but nevertheless, what we want to extract from you, and it's not as easy after the fact, but what we want to extract from you is that sensation of being in the vortex. So let's use some words that sort of conjure it a little bit, but there's no right or wrong to this. It's just a matter of saying, I felt free, the roads felt open, I felt good, I felt happy, I felt expectant, I felt eager, I felt really happy, I felt organized, I felt coordinated, I felt alive, I felt good about life, I felt appreciation for life, I felt eager about seeing Abraham, I felt happy about knowing Abraham. I felt appreciation about what I've been learning from Abraham. I felt a satisfaction about coming into deliberate control of my own experience. I felt open. I felt expectant. I felt being in the vortex feels sure. It feels complete. It feels like being in the flow. It feels like well-being. It feels like all is wellness. I felt clear-minded. I felt sure. I felt soothed. In other words, we're just milking it.
Yes.
Just for no good reason other than just milking it, just trying to maintain that feeling a little longer. You will do far more advantageous work for yourself by taking a moment like that and milking it, irrationally so. We watch Jerry and Esther. Sometimes they'll spend an entire meal in a restaurant just trying to identify what the aspects of the environment are that equal the good feeling they're having. It's all they'll talk about. Anyone listening in would think they were crazy people because they're just looking for the reason that best describes why they feel so good. That is the best work that you can do, because that's taking a vibration that's already active within you and holding yourself in the vibration longer. And that's what sets the vibrational muscle and makes it easier for you to hold it next time. And odd as it seems, taking a problem and trying to drag it into the vortex is less effective work. Can you hear that?
Yes.
So what are we actually trying to teach you? Are we trying to teach you how to think different about, are we trying to teach you to turn on your radio, listen to all kinds of static or stations that don't please you, and feel around to a station that does please you? Or are we teaching you to find the station that you know will please you and just tune it there faster every time?
The latter.
Feel the difference?
Yes.
That's a big distinction. Now, it's not to say you can't tune yourself and that sometimes life doesn't put you someplace that you want to do your best to tune it. But what we really want you to take away from this conversation is the unstuckness is not about taking something that is stuck and dragging it out of the muck, because you can't do that. When you get hold of it and attempt to drag it, it drags you in. You can't get unstuck. What you have to do is awaken into a less stuck place and then practice the vibration of that.
Okay.
Of course you can move your vibration from wherever it is, but the leverage is really from inside the vortex. Now, if you were someone who was rarely there, we'd give you some tips on how to feel better, but that's not who you are. If you were someone who was definitely more pessimistic than optimistic, we'd give you some tips on how to be more optimistic, because it would leave you in a better feeling place along the way, but that's not who you are.
Okay.
We want you to understand that this issue is an anomaly, and the reason that it feels stuck is because the more you poke at it, the more you expand into a better place. And the more you expand into a better place, the stuckness, you're going to really like this. This is expressly and emphatically addressed to you and your situation.
Okay.
If the issue had not caused you to expand, you would not feel the discord of not taking the expansion.
I appreciate that.
Well, don't you love knowing that?
I do.
And isn't that a reason to... So now, can you befriend the issue, which has caused the expansion?
I can.
That's sort of where we started, isn't it?
It is.
And as you do that, you're not stuck. In other words, it's like we're all in this together, problems and solutions together, questions and answers together, physical and non-physical together, all moving forward. And isn't it great? Just like being out on the road.
It is.
Yes, indeed. Enough?
Thank you. I love your teachings and love the fact that you guys are here in Atlanta. Thank you.